What's up, guys? I have Matt over here with his 2020 Duramax. It was supposed to go to SEMA, obviously. It got canceled. He is shooting go to SEMA 2021. That's the plan for right now. But basically, for this video, we want to talk about exactly how much he had to spend to build a SEMA truck and how sponsorships work, because a lot of people think that because you're building a truck for SEMA, you get all the parts for free, and that is just not true. And you know that from experience now.
It's definitely not true. I thought I'd get a lot of parts for free, or you'd get all these companies, show them your rendering, you tell them who you're working with and pitch it to them, and you assume that you would get a lot of stuff for free or heavily discounted, you know, like I'm only paying for shipping. That just wasn't the case. It could have been because this is the year of the Rona, not really sure, but I'm, you know, not a big social media influencer either. That could have had something to do with it. I was advised that if you're going to build a SEMA truck, be ready to pay for everything and don't count on sponsorships. So that's something that I took into consideration. So when we kind of started, we had our must-have list that was based off of the rendering that we drew up, and then we had our nice-to-haves, which were just like little extras here and there that if there was room in the budget or we got a sponsorship, then we would go ahead and get that for the vehicle. So that's how we started off going into this.
Cool. So could you tell us basically how much you spent, starting from how much the truck was? You bought it brand new, especially when it first came out.
Yeah, I bought the truck in December of last year, and I think I paid around 70-ish for it.
Well, that's still not bad for brand new.
No.
I thought it'd be higher because MSRP is like, what, 75?
Yeah, 75 to 78, I think, for the AT4s. I'm not really sure right now. I'd have to look it up.
Right.
But we paid, I think we were right at 70, maybe even 69. I have a great family friend who allowed me to use his GM discount.
Okay.
And so that's how we got it a little bit lower than, I think we got it like 69. I think we were 68, 69
that's
somewhere.
That's a great price.
So, right. And then from there, what'd you ask me?
Around $70,000. So we're just gonna add up basically how much you had to spend. This would be raw dollars before sponsorships, before all the companies kind of gave them discounts and stuff. And so basically this figure is how much this truck costs without any kind of help.
So I would tack on another $56,000. Retail price of all the parts that we have on the truck.
Dude, that's a lot more than I actually thought it would be. I was thinking like maybe 35, 40.
No.
God.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked too. As we were going through this, we had our budget sheet. You know, we had our number that we weren't gonna spend more than this. And as we were going, we were kind of seeing how the savings were going and what we were spending. And I tracked it down to the penny, man. Like if a company gave me a sponsorship for something, I would go on my sheet and I'd put in there, okay, I paid X amount of dollars, and this is how much it cost if I would have had to pay full price for it. So this is what I saved from that. And you combine those two numbers together, you're looking at $56,000 in parts, accessories, custom work. And that number is not including labor for putting stuff on. That, depending on the shop that you go to, they usually charge anywhere between $80 to $120 an hour.
Right.
So if you average that at $100 an hour, I can't count the number of hours that we have into this truck right now. That labor bill could easily have been $10,000, $15,000 more.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because you guys have to think, everything, like all these little parts on his truck got powder coated, meaning it was sitting on pretty much on jack stands or on a lift for 2 weeks, right? Roughly?
More like 2 months.
2 months. Because parts had to come in and stuff.
We were still waiting for parts to come in. We took parts off and we sent it off to Vivid, to Brad up at Vivid Powder Coating, to get him to powder coat it. He had great turnaround time. He was done in 2 weeks with all of our lift parts, the bumpers. He did everything. I then sent more parts back with him, like our torsion bars, lower control arms, the torsion bar draw. I sent some things back to him that we didn't go on the first trip, and that caused like another 2-week delay. And in all that time, that's when SEMA got canceled. So I know I was depressed and I was crying my tears every day. And I was like, I'm not gonna work on it. No. But in that time, like, we just really weren't working on, I wasn't focused on building the truck.
Exactly.
Until we decided to do the social media correspondent SEMA 360 thing. So that, it wasn't until then that we were like, okay, let's get on it and let's get this thing done by our original deadline, which put us back by about a month.
Pretty much 2 months just sitting on the lift for it to get powder coated. So just, you got to think it. Not a lot of shops would want to do something like that just because it would take up space, and you know that lift that this truck is on could be making them money on a daily basis. So huge shout out to the shop that helped, you know, let you,
North Augusta Customs.
yeah, huge shout out to them for letting you
shout out to those guys, man. Whether it was in the bay on a lift or out in the back 40, you know, sitting on jack stands for a while, like, huge shout out to those guys for working with me on this and helping build this truck, man. Nope. Yeah.
Special access too. You got to stay there till like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. They gave me those are some good guys. They gave me some special hours. Mm-hmm. Lots of late nights in that place.
So now this is where things get kind of interesting, because like you guys heard, he would have spent $56,000. Now we're going to tell you guys how much money he saved by hiring a build manager, who then reached out to these companies to work out a contract. Basically, it's a sponsorship, but I like to think of it as a partnership, right? So you're getting these parts from these companies. In return, you're taking it to a huge show, the biggest show in the world, and you're representing their parts on your vehicle. So could you let us know how much you saved by having a build manager and partnerships?
So the build manager comes with the fee. I can't disclose that fee.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bound by
Understandable.
contract.
Understandable.
Can't disclose that fee. But roughly I've saved about $29,000.
$29,000. My Denali, I bought it for $30,000. So he basically saved as much as how much I paid for my Denali. Anything you want to kind of let people know? Because like you've been there where you're the guy that didn't know about all these sponsorships. Yeah. What do you want to let others know?
So, I mean,
a lot of people look up to you now.
I know, I've seen that. I'm kind of like, wow, people look up to me, like, you're inspired by me.
You're the next D-Max Rhino to some people.
I got to get a YouTube channel going first.
You got to grow your hair out too.
Yeah, I got to grow my hair out. You know, they might not like that where I work at though. Things I didn't know. Man, I have learned like everything. I've learned everything. Like, I've learned turning wrenches. I've learned, you know, the financial aspect behind building this truck, the physical aspect, the mental capacity to, like, just to be able to mentally endure a lot of the things that you have to go through in the frustrating times when parts don't show up when you're expecting them, or you accidentally break a part and you have to reach back out to the company and say, hey, I made a boo-boo, can you hook me up with another one? Like, I'll pay for it, please, I need this part soon. Things like that. Biggest sponsors we've had on the truck would be obviously Kelderman, who provided us with the front and the rear lift, Hostile with the wheels, Toyo with the tires. Oh, Kelderman also gave us the front and rear bumpers. I forgot about those. Let's see.
When you say gave, they didn't like give it to you though.
No, they didn't give them to us, okay. But it was in the...
Some people will get the wrong idea.
Yeah, it was in the fee. Okay. It was in the partial sponsorship that they gave us. And I'm going to say the words partial sponsorship so that you can understand who gave us, like, you know, free versus versus me having to pay a portion of what most people pay for the products. So Hostile would be a partial sponsorship. Toyo, partial sponsorship. Kelderman, partial sponsorship. Horn Blasters with the train horns, partial sponsorship. Viair, full sponsorship.
Heck yeah.
And they came in clutch because I really needed that system. Mm-hmm. And they came through with a full sponsorship, and so thankful for that. Shout out to Sean for hooking that up through Bayer. Effing Fast, license plate cover, full sponsorship. Black Armor bed mats, full sponsorship. Clears Manufacturing, full sponsorship for the smoked tail lights, or smoked fender lights, excuse me, not tail lights, but smoked fender lights and the smoke marker lights. I did have to pay for the LED strips that go inside of them, but they gave us the covers and everything at a full sponsorship. Southern Edge Fab and Solutions, those guys gave us a full sponsorship on our custom brackets that fit inside of the Kelderman front and rear bumpers for our off-road lights. Bumpers are made to fit a rigid light, and we got a partial sponsorship from Twisted Pro. Light pods that they gave us did not fit perfect in there, so Southern Edge Fab came in and I gave him the bumpers and he went to town on them, designed a bracket that slides right in. I mounted the Twisted Pro pods to that, and it looks perfect in my opinion.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks
better than the original. Gen Y, full sponsorship. How can I forget about them?
Yeah, represent.
I know, right? Powder coating from Vivid Powder Coating, partial sponsorship. R1 Rotors, full sponsorship. The color match fender fairs from GMC, no sponsorship.
Sponsored by your wallet.
Sponsored by me, right? Shark Tail hitch, which we just got done from Brad yesterday. I'm going to go pick it up tomorrow. I'm excited to finally be able to put the flagpole on there and fly my flag. The jam handles, you know, to grab your door handle so you don't mess up your doors, paint protection and all that great stuff. There we go. Yeah, the jam handles, that was a partial sponsorship right there. Main Event emblems. All right, wait for it now.
Is it gonna honk?
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't close it all the way. God, okay.
Just gotta wait for it. Main Event emblems. That's a partial sponsorship that's coming to a theater near you. Okay. We've been working on a special replacement emblem for the Duramax badge right here. So that'll be.
Is it gonna light up?
It is gonna light
Ooh,
up. It is
have fun wiring that up.
I don't think it should be hard. I'll probably just have to tap into. I mean, there's so much electrical stuff under there right now. Like,
just put a AA battery back there somewhere.
No, I'm gonna tap a wire somewhere. I might have to run something down here and tap these. Hopefully I don't have to take those back off.
Oh God, no.
So that's one. And then MGP caliper covers. They are designing up some custom caliper covers for us, and that is a full sponsorship as well. Gravel Empire with the grill.
Oh, that's a big part because a lot of people actually really like your grill.
Yeah. So I don't know if I got a sponsorship on this or not. So Sean, we were having a hard time finding somebody that could actually kind of do what we wanted for the grill. That's why you kind of hire a build manager, is to find the people that you can't find, or they're there to help you put the truck together.
Yeah, he's got the connections. He's got the knowledge of.
He's got the connections. He's got the knowledge. He knows who's reputable. He knows who to stay away from, and I trusted him in every aspect with this build, and I could not have been happier, man. So he reached out to Lou, sent him, a picture of the rendering, asked if they'd be able to do it. Lou was like, yep, let me get some things. They gave me a number, and I went with the number. I can't say if that was a sponsorship or not, but hey, the number was the number, and I wasn't going to complain. If we couldn't find anybody to do it, then we were going to have to change the grill. So
I mean, just look at that grill, like the attention to detail, like all the stars look great, and that right there, that is so meaningful. Just like, I mean, this whole truck is very meaningful. You have a very special meaning behind this build, which is different than most of the SEMA builds, I want to say, because a lot of these SEMA builds, they're just big trucks, but this truck has something very special to your heart.
Yeah, it does. It does. As we discussed before, no greater love has a man than to lay down his life for his friends. If you do follow along on my Instagram, sometimes you'll see me post a rest in peace or a memory from the 82nd when we were deployed out there from 2006 to 2007. We lost a lot of soldiers on that one trip alone. I've had 4 or 5 deployments, so I mean, we've lost a lot of people throughout the wars that we've had to endure for the past almost 20 years now. It doesn't, the sacrifice doesn't go unnoticed, and that's what I think the biggest thing is. I wanted to display was that, hey, I want people to remember the sacrifice that people have made for our freedoms, for me to, even though I'm in the service, you know, like for us to do this, somebody had to pay the sacrifice for it.
So you're still thankful for those other ones that couldn't make it.
Exactly. Not everybody comes home, so.
Partial sponsorships and full sponsorships. So basically, I want to say a lot of these full sponsorships are going to be pretty much like your smaller parts. And you guys have to understand, a lot of these big parts like lift kit, wheels, tires, you can't get those for free. And even with sponsorships, they work with you, but a lot of people assume that you get everything for 50% off or everything for like 80% off or get stuff for free. But you have to understand, it's very hard. And a lot of these full sponsorships are, I want to say, like the smaller, should I say, like the cheaper parts?
The less inexpensive parts, but it's the parts that also add the detail to the truck.
Right. Because I mean, wheels, I mean, this lift kit's like a front and back. It's a, what, $15,000 lift, I think?
Lift, bumpers, front and back, front and rear bumpers, you're looking at like $16,000.
Yeah, so
plus taxes and shipping.
Yeah, that's a lot of money, and a lot of these companies can't give that to you for free. Simple fact, that's a lot of money, and they can't risk losing that money. They have to, when they sponsor somebody, they have to basically get stuff out of your sponsorship. And for them to give Matt all the stuff, he was going to take the truck to SEMA, which he still is going to for 2021, and get displayed by, I think, like over 200,000 people that's going to be there throughout the week and the weekend. And you get to go on the SEMA cruise, which is freaking amazing. I've never been able to be part of it, but I saw it.
Yeah. And
it's freaking cool.
I've seen a lot of clips from last year. You know, when SEMA was happening this year, everybody was posting pics from SEMA 2019, and I saw a lot of different pics, and I was like, this looks fun. So I'm excited about that part. One other sponsorship I did forget to mention, Fast Headlights. Phil, again, it's one of those things where they give you you tell them what you're doing, and then they give you a number. I got my number, and that's what I was going with, because we wanted him to do a lot of custom work with our headlights. And I will say that he did sponsor us, and he changed out the cab lights. He changed those from yellow to white without charging me to do that. And he also hooked up the Clears lights for us. When you order the lights from Clears, it comes unassembled, and you have to put the LED strips in, and you have to
you gotta do all that?
You got to do all that.
I didn't know that.
You got to put it all together and everything. But Phil sponsored us by hooking us up with that and hooking us up with the cab lights. And he also just completely killed it on the headlights.
Oh yeah, look at that. That looks good. I mean, Mark got his done. I'm gonna get my headlights done by Phil as well when I get my L5P. But every company is different too. So some companies will reach back out to you and say, oh, we'll give you 50% off, we'll give you 20% off. Some companies will just say, hey, we'll do it for no labor, we'll do it for 50% off labor. So every company is different. You don't ever get like a straight answer on how sponsorships work, but I hope this video kind of helped you guys out on what it takes to build a SEMA truck and basically what sponsorships.
Speaking of sponsorships, it's very hard to get in and out of this truck. And so we have a sponsorship from AMP Research, partial sponsorship for the XL steps.
We're gonna be doing an install video once the AMP steps come, because oh gosh, this truck is a nightmare to get in.
It is. It's not fun, man.
Like my truck's okay, but your truck, I don't think I could daily this.
You got to be flexible. I mean, you got to get the leg way up there, and you got to kind of push and pull at the same time. If you ain't coordinated, you're gonna be hurting.
I mean, for reference, how tall are you?
6 foot.
6 foot, and you had to get your legs all the way up.
You got to be flexible, man.
I mean, I'm 5'8". The bottom of the floor is past my hips, so it's where my belly button is. Your truck is where my belly button is. That's crazy. So yeah, you need some steps for sure. Oh, the wrap.
The wrap, Communigraphics, yes. Communigraphics did give us a partial sponsorship on the wrap. So the wrap and the decals, I forgot about it. It got me that time. Wrap and Decal from Community Graphics. They gave us a partial sponsorship on that as well.
While we're talking about sponsorship, I realized something. The way my sponsorships work, like the way I get parts, are very different than the way Matt gets his parts. Whenever you get a sponsorship, you have a contract, right? And basically, he got sponsorships on this truck for SEMA. So there's a lot of SEMA sponsorships and SEMA builds. For me, none of my trucks have ever gone to SEMA. They're not really SEMA quality either. For me, I work with companies, it's a partnership, and they send me products. Some are free, some are paid, or some are like discounted. And basically we have an agreement, like I make content for them that they can either share or use, or they just want to be part of my build because they know that I can reach X amount of people. Just like this truck would be reaching X amount of people at SEMA, but also, I mean, he's gaining a lot of followers on Instagram and TikTok. You're killing it on TikTok right now.
TikTok's been awesome, man.
I saw his video pop up one day, and it had like 100,000 views.
Yeah,
I was like, holy cow.
That one video is over like 200,000 now.
Oh yeah, it's that one video that'll get you like thousands of followers. But now he's getting noticed on social media, so his sponsors are benefiting from that as well. So yeah, that's basically the difference between my sponsorships and Matt's sponsorship, but everyone's gonna be different. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, leave them below and I'll make sure Matt answers every single one of the comments. Or we'll make maybe like an updated video if there's a lot of questions that were not answered in this video. I think we covered basically everything.
Yeah, I think another thing that I learned is the social media aspect of it. I was never big into social media. I never had an Instagram account until we started doing the build in December of last year. And I quickly learned that, like you said, whether you're going to SEMA or whether you're building it for a YouTube channel as a content creator or whatever, either way it goes, it doesn't hurt to have some type of social media platform to put yourself out there.
Exactly.
And to show people. I've made a couple of YouTube videos. Personally, I think they're not great at all, but just the other night I had a guy hit me up on Instagram and say, hey man, I was watching your video on how to take these door panels apart and I just can't figure it out for the life of me. I need some help. Can you help me out? Well, I called him and I walked him through it, and I left out one of the details in the video about how to get one of the clips off, and we got the clip off, and you know, he went on about taking off his mirror so that he could go get his mirrors color matched and everything. And I've had people hit me up about, you know, the video that I made about taking the grill off and stuff, and that was what really surprised me, was how many people actually watched it. I was like, oh wow, there's people that had questions and, you know, needed more information. It doesn't hurt when you're putting stuff out there to, you know, have the social media platforms for people to access the information that you're doing. So
exactly. And one thing I've noticed is that there's a lot of SEMA builds that have, like, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars into that truck, but if you like go check out their social media page, they may only have like 500 followers because they're just not active on social media. But they basically go to SEMA based on, most people just want to go.
Yeah.
They don't even care about the social media part of it. They just want to go. They just want to have a nice truck and just be seen by hundreds of thousands of people.
I just wanted to make sure I was able to give back to the companies that gave to me. So that's why I really tried hard to grow an Instagram account and to get on TikTok and try to do YouTube, because I just really wanted to help. You know, I figure if they're investing in me, then I deserve it to them to invest back and to try to do something to help promote them, you know.
Exactly.
I'm not a taker, you know. I'm trying to make sure it's mutually beneficial to both people, you know.
Yeah, they have faith in you, so you just want to make sure that you give them back what they deserve. So that's one thing that scares a lot of these companies. A lot of these companies don't want to sponsor because they're scared. Some people just take and not give anything back. Certain companies that I've worked with, they've told me that they've given free wheels and tires to certain people, and they just never posted anything for them, or they got the wheels and sold or whatever. I hope this video helped you guys. If it did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to go check out Matt on Instagram as well as TikTok. If you guys have TikTok, follow him on TikTok, because he's blowing up. I think he got like 5,000 followers there.
We're almost at 6,000.
Oh yeah, crazy. So make sure to go follow him on TikTok. Go comment on his latest video and let him know I sent you there.
The link is right there below.
Yeah, the link is right there. The TikTok handle is right there. But I'll see you guys next time. Peace.